Greetings everyone, and welcome to week 2 of History 101, World Civilizations. Again, this week we're just going to do a brief video intro and just wanted to make sure everybody's getting the flow of what's going on with the course and how everything is going to be going along. That first week is just exactly what we're going to be doing for the rest of our 4 weeks. We're going to have some readings, some video, and some forum discussions along with our PowerPoint lectures. And like I said, if you have any other questions or anything like that, it looks like week number 1 ran pretty smoothly. And so if you do have those questions, please let me know. So for this week, let's talk about a few of the topics that we'll be going over. First and foremost, out of this book, our sources of world societies. We won't be doing much with this book this week for a couple of different reasons. I think that we can get much more of our information from the text and from a couple of video links that we'll look at in terms of that with our sources. So put that one aside for the week. But this week we'll be doing the remaining part of chapter 2 with the Egyptians, and that begins right here on page 44 of our text. All right, so we'll start here and we'll read the Egyptians from page 44 to page 51 with the Egyptians. All right, and then we'll be skipping ahead a little bit. Again, accelerated course, you can't really cover everything. So we'll be skipping ahead to chapter 5 and the Greeks, and we'll look at early Greek civilization, and that begins here on page 114 of our text. And we'll be reading, skipping around a little bit in this chapter. In Greece, we'll be reading pages 114 to 121. Okay, so 114 through 121, that's right here. Okay, and then we'll skip ahead a little bit. I want you to definitely read and concentrate on page 128 of our book, which is right here with Greece and the religious experiences of being a Greek citizen. So that's as far as our reading goes. That's what we're being, that's what we're concentrating on for this week. All right. PowerPoint lectures will be posted here in a little bit. One will cover Egypt and its relations with the Mediterranean world, and the second will cover chapter 5 in the Greeks and the early Greeks' relationships with the Mediterranean world, which you can see right here on the map behind me. All right. And so make sure you're covering yourself in understanding where you are on the map and where we are with this course. The biggest thing, again, that we're going to emphasize week 2 that we emphasize week 1 is the relationship between these societies and their geographic environments. Okay, we looked at during week 1 how harsh and unstable the environment was with the Mesopotamians, and how their gods and their life reflected their uneasy, violent relationship with the environment. In week 2, we're going to look at 2 different relationships with the environment. You're going to look at the Egyptians and the Nile, and their relationship is going to be much more symbiotic and much, much different than the relationship with the Mesopotamians. The relationship with the Egyptians to the Nile is going to be a much more reliable and stable relationship, and thus you're going to see a much different society developed in terms of religion, in terms of their cultural outlook on life, and how they go about their daily business. And I hope that you would appreciate that and enjoy that when you get through and start working through the reading and the lecture and the videos that we'll see on the Egyptians. The Greeks, the second lesson for this week, the Greeks will have a very interesting relationship with the Mediterranean Sea around them. The word to remember with the Greeks is fragmentation. The Greeks are very fragmented, and they sit around the Aegean Sea and the Mediterranean as frogs do on a pond, as Plato said. We sit around the Aegean like frogs on lily pads. I love that image to have in your head with the Greeks. The Greeks will have a very interesting and different relationship with their environment as well. So make sure you're concentrating on that as you get through these assignments and through the sources on the Greeks and the Egyptians.